Hello and welcome back again, Coffee Beans. This is Agricultural Structures and Building Constructions. Definition of terms. L&M. Ladder. A device incorporating or employing steps. Rungs are cleats on which a person can ascend or descend. Lagoon. An earthen structure for the storage and biological treatment of wastewater. Lairage. Any premise or yard used for the confinement of animals waiting to be slaughtered, which include unloading ramp. Pens and detention pens. Landing. Refers to the horizontal floor as resting place in a flight. Landing platform. An elevated horizontal surface area that provides access and egress for a fixed ladder. Lap joint. A type of riveted joint wherein the plates overlap each other and are held together by one or more rows of rivets. Lap sliding. Building sheathing usually 305 mm 12 inches or less wide and 4.88 meters 16 feet, or less long that gradually thickens from about 6.4 mm 1/4 inch thick at its top edge to about 15.9 mm 55/8 inch thick at its bottom, exposed edge. The thick bottom is installed over the thinner top edge. Large fluid fertilizer tank. A fluid fertilizer storage tank large enough to be designated a large tank by regulatory authorities and thus have a unique set of containment rules. Lateral Foundation designed for post-frame resistance to loads such as wind and stored granular material that tend to cause horizontal post displacement. Lateral loads include wind loads and seismic loads. Lateral ties refer to the lateral reinforcements of vertical bars in a tied column. Lateral tool spacing, the horizontal distance between corresponding reference points on adjacent tools when projected upon a vertical plane perpendicular to the direction of travel. Lean-to, a shed with a single sloped roof and upper edge abutting a wall or building. Lean-to greenhouse, a greenhouse structure which is attached to another building along the ridge line. Light timber framing. This framing is the type widely used in the construction of dwellings and other small buildings having a short roof span. Lintel, a beam used over doors, windows and other openings in buildings to carry vertical loads. Liquid manure, thin slurry. Manure which has had sufficient water added so that it can be pumped easily. Litter type. Type flooring utilizing the most commonly available materials such as rice hull and rice straw and wood shavings over the cemented floor. Live load. Gravitational force due to mass of equipment. Livestock. Products. And other loads resulting from the use of the structure. Load-bearing walls. They support loads from floors and roof in addition to their own weight and which resist side pressure from wind and, in some cases, from stored material or objects within the building. Loading chute. Inclined ramp with side barriers that directs livestock into or out of a truck or trailer. Loading end doors. Doors through which the curing compartment is filled. Longitudinal section. Cross section along the length of a building. Loose fill insulation. Insulation installed by pouring or blowing into building walls and ceiling. Loose housing. Animals are free to move between resting, feeding, and watering areas. Loose type animals. Animals are free to move in a pen while waiting to be slaughtered. Lorena. A sand and clay mixture. Lower critical temperature. Effective environment temperature below which the livestock must increase heat production rate to achieve heat balance. Lumber. Wood from logs sawn and usually planed for building use in construction. Lumber core. Sideboard made up of well-machined lumber strips properly dried and glued together. Lumber core plywood or plyboard. Plywood made up of face, back veneer. Crossboard core veneer and well-composed kiln-dried lumber core. Kiln dry lumber. Lumber that has been dried in a dry kiln to a specified moisture condition. Main rig assembly. Structure which supports the entire drilling system. Manger. Feed bunk and building. Manure flume. Any restricted passageway, open along its full length to the atmosphere, through which the liquid moves by gravity. Manure separators. A device or structure which brings about a partial separation of solid material from a liquid or slurry. Manure storage. A storage unit to keep manure contained for some period of time prior to its ultimate utilization or disposal. Manure tank. A storage structure with a vertical side walls and an impervious floor. Constructed to store semi-solid, slurry and liquid manure. Manure transfer device. A device whose primary function is to move manure from a collection point to storage, and from storage to processing or utilization. Marine. A type of plywood used for external use. Masonry. Something made from stone. Bricks are hard material. Masonry wall. Refers to the wall that is built of individual blocks of materials such as brick, clay or concrete blocks, or stone, usually in horizontal courses bonded together with some form of mortar. Maximum angle of fill. The maximum angle that may be used for calculating the capacity of the roof area. Mechanical anchorage. Is any mechanical device capable of developing the strength of the reinforcement without damage to the concrete. It is the means by which the pre-stress force is permanently transferred to the concrete. Mechanically laminated column. A structural assembly consisting of suitably selected wood laminations joined with nails, bolts, and or other mechanical fasteners. Mechanical solids separation. the process of separating suspended solids from a liquid carrying medium by trapping the particles on a mechanical screen or sieve, or by centrifugation, mechanical ventilation, desirable air exchange which occurs through controlled openings, when fans are used to move air into and exhaust air out of the greenhouse. Mesh floor, flooring with many small openings in it to permit manure to pass through. Usually used with livestock less than 90 kg. Membrane wall. It is a wall that is constructed as a sandwich of two thin skins or sheets of reinforced plastic. Metal, asbestos cement or other suitable material bonded to a core of foamed plastic to produce a thin wall element of high strength and low weight. Methanization. Various processes that take place among the methanogens. Non-methanogens and substrate fed into the digester as inputs. Milking center. Combination of rooms in a dairy operation including the milking parlor and milk room. May include cow treatment area. Mechanical and electrical equipment room. Office and washroom and holding pen. Milking center wastes. The wastewater containing milk residues, detergents, and manure which is generated in a milking center. Milking parlor. A facility that functions to extract milk from a cow by means of vacuum. Milking stall. An enclosure designed to secure a cow during milking. Milk room. Room attached to a dairy barn or milking parlor. For handling, cooling and storing milk. Mineral wool. Fibrous insulating material of processed slag or rock. Miscut lumber. Rough lumber having greater variation in thickness, except to wane, between the thinnest and thickest points. Mister. System for dispersing water in coarse droplets to provide wetting of livestock and structural surfaces. Modified open front building. Building with one or more walls with large adjustable openings that may be closed or opened, dependent on weather conditions. To moderate building environment. Modulus of Elasticity. A measure of the beam's resistance to bending or deflection under transverse load. Modulus of Rupture. A measure of the ability of a beam to support slowly applied load for a short time. Moisture balance. Condition whereby water vapor brought into a building, plus that released inside, is exactly equal to that leaving. Moisture barrier. Material which retards the passage or flow of moisture vapor. Monitor. Symmetrical. Single sloped roofs with a raised symmetrical central portion or section through the main building. Monitor and semi-monitor roof. Is a special type of roof with additional height to give more room for storage. The extension above the main roof was often used for ventilation, and windows in the vertical walls give additional light. Monolithic wall refers to the wall that is built of a material placed in forms during the construction. Examples are traditional earth wall and the modern concrete wall. The earth walls are inexpensive and durable if placed on a good foundation and protected from rain by a rendering or wide roof overhangs. Mortar. It is a mixture of cement, sand, and water, used for laying brick or masonry. It is too weak to be used by itself as a material for building. Mound. Part of feedlot which is piled with earth to improve drainage and to provide a dry resting area. Multiple building system. A building system in which more than one building is used in order to accommodate different stages of the livestock life cycle. Hope it helps. Thank you again for listening. Please like, subscribe and comment your suggestion on topics you want to hear. Links of previous topics are stated in the description box below. See you in the next part. Bye. Rar.